Let's have a chinwag, shall we? So, what can I tell you? Firstly, I was asked to describe myself by using characters from popular culture. And I said, you know what, think of The Simpsons, and you take Apu and Mr. Burns, and they make them the one dude, right? Yeah, I got an accent. I lived in Australia for 20 odd years. After you listen to me, you might want to go to the Outback Steakhouse and order the chicken curry. I recently moved, I lived in Seattle for 17 years, Then I moved to New York, and I live in a place called Newport, in Jersey City, just across from the downtown area. Peculiar place, because it's a place where everyone is either Indian, Chinese, or Russian. So it's one of the few places where you can actually have the brown people speak better English than the white people. What can I tell you? I get up here and brown guy. I gotta do some brown guy comedy, alright. Fine. Yes, the TSA racially profiled me in the 2000s. Oh no. Actually, coolest thing that ever freaking happened to me. Because for once in my life, somebody looked at me and said, you could be dangerous. That was a proud moment. I stood there, getting patted down. I saw the women walking past, and I knew what they were thinking. We want you, bad boy. I don't like the question, where are you from? No, I don't get offended. It's just that, in order to answer that question, I've got to become that geography teacher that none of you listen to, right? None of you listen to it, because I'm from Malaysia. Now, some of you may go, what is this guy talking about? That's in Southeast Asia. And others are saying, my Greek restaurant stopped serving that dish. Yeah, Malaysia, Southeast Asia, and some of you are now going, Asia? It doesn't look Asian. Screw you, Asia's a big place, okay? Jerusalem to Japan, Siberia to Singapore, and somewhere in the middle. Yeah. I'm actually, I'm half Sri Lankan, and I'm half Indian. My mother is actually from South Africa. So if I was gay, I'd be the perfect diversity hire. I'm glad you like that one. Never quite sure in the Seattle area, You guys from Seattle? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're pale enough.
I am.
Okay, that'll be as far as I take the crowd work, I think. You guys are sitting a little too far back from me, so alright, we'll keep going here. So yeah, when I lived in Malaysia, we knew nothing about America. Everything we knew about America, we learned from TV and music. So, Commodores, this is the 70s and 80s, right? So Commodores, and Lionel Richie, Cosby Show. We started to think that half of America was black. And then when I eventually ended up living in Seattle, guess what? Black Lives Matter March in Seattle. No black people. Yeah. Now, what can I tell you? How did Sri Lankans end up in Malaysia? If you don't know history, at some stage in history, the British ruled the entire freaking planet. And what they did was they came to us and they said, could you please, very nicely, go over to Malaysia and help us make some money over there? So we went. Now, what else can I tell you? Oh, now I want a question. Who would you say is the most famous white man in America in the 1980s? You weren't even born in the 1980s. How about you? Who would you say is the most famous white man in America in the 1980s? Ronald Reagan. President. Right? In Malaysia, we thought it was John Travolta. Yes. John Travolta, not just because of disco, but because he introduced short brown men to platform shoes. Yes. I'm older than some of the other comics. I'm a middle-aged man. What can I tell you? You get to middle age and you start looking out of place in some of the comedy clubs. I went to an open mic, that's where we practice. This young guy comes up to me and he said, "Doesn't a guy your age have something better to do with his time?" And I said, "Damn straight, I could be at the bar making your girlfriend my sugar baby." I came out with that one right on the spot. Pretty young thing comes sit down next to me and she says, "You're old enough to be my dad." I said, "If I was your dad, you'd be in medical school." You get to middle age, you miss old friends, right? And my old friend that I miss the most, testosterone. God, I love that fucker. He grew my dick big and hard. Now he only grows my prostate. He used to grow thick black hair on my head and now he grows it only in my ass crack. Start to miss old friends, you go to Facebook, you try to catch up with them, right? And so since I started doing stand-up, some of the hot girls from high school, so these are the girls who would have rather chewed their own arm off than give me a hand job back then. Okay? So these girls started messaging me. And I started looking through their pictures. And suddenly, I didn't feel so bad about missing out. Because there were so many gray hairs and so many wrinkles, I thought I was looking at my own scrotum. See, it's late enough in the evening for that one, right? None of you were eating. So. What else can I tell you? Oh, how about this? Trying to keep fit. I go to Orange Theory. Orange Theory? Pretty serious workout, But I go to Orange Theory in Jersey City, just across from the financial district. Only 3 kinds of people. Number 1, hot young women trying to get a finance bro boyfriend. Number 2, hot 30-plus women working off the anger because the finance bro boyfriend is fucking a whore. 3, my dudes. You only see us intermittently because we tear stuff doing simple shit. I was watching the Mission Impossible movie. Freaking loved it. Tom Cruise, 60 plus, he's out freaking jumping shit in a motorcycle. I get up to get myself a drink, tear my ACL. That's wrong. It's wrong. Looking like this and going to a yoga class is like being black and getting onto a basketball court. People make too many assumptions. I walked into a yoga class, they put me at the front of the class. Advertising. We're so good, even they come. People walked in, they saw me there, they sat down behind me, I heard them talking. Is that Bikram? From the Bikram yoga book? I don't know how many black men can still dunk in their middle age, but for me, downward dog is just downward and stay. Yes. So, what else can I tell you about? Well, this is going to really freak you out, but I really am a doctor. See? You went quiet. Yes. You want some sob story about how my parents forced me into it? I binge-watched Grey's Anatomy. Inspired. The thing that really pisses me off though, you like medical dramas, yeah? ER and all that shit, yeah? You guys like that? Yeah, guess what? All the doctors on those dramas are surgeons. Never radiologists like me. You know the problem? I'm proud of the reason. Look at me. Way too much raw sexuality. I can't not do network. It's porn or bust. You guys don't like any of these. Hey, all the laughter's coming from here. Thank you. So let's keep going. Where was I? Oh yeah. Nobody knows what a radiologist does. What does a radiologist do?
I don't know.
See? What does a radiologist do? See? Nobody knows what we do. Okay. We look at scans and we dictate reports, okay? But when you watch me do it, it's really creepy. Because I sit in a small dark room, looking at black and white pictures of people's insides, mumbling to myself. You know who else does that shit? Colorblind serial killers. You know, I know everything about you from this scan. Everything. I know they smoke. I know they drink too much. I can even take a shot at your socioeconomic status. For example, if you're from Everett and I see bullet fragments, chances are, you don't have a trust fund. Oh, that's a relief. Normally that's a New York joke, there's all this trust fund babies. But you guys got that one. Good. All right, so let's keep going. Yeah, bad things about being a radiologist. It affects how you see the world. I was out with my wife one day. She looks up, she sees a cloud, and she said, "Oh, that one looks like an elephant." I said, "No, I think that looks like something that could do with a couple rounds of chemo." It's a great excuse whenever women catch me staring at their breasts. I'm going to make heavy eye contact with you right now because you're sitting in the front row, but you look utterly unimpressed. So I'm going to move on to you. When women catch me staring at their breasts, I just go, "Oh, I'm a radiologist," and I was just thinking about what a challenging mammogram you'd be. I'm going to have to go soon, so I thought I'd confess that I repress anger. Yeah, I'm always going to be nice to you. I'll always be polite and friendly. Unfortunately, in the back of my head, I'm strangling someone that pissed me off 30 years ago. You guys do it too, right? Yeah, I thought you did. So, what else can I tell you about my dentist? Knows I'm nuts, obviously. If you repress anger for 30 years, you're going to be crazy, right? So my dentist knows I'm nuts because he made me a night guard. Now, a night guard is a mouth guard for people who only play contact sports in their imagination. A friend of mine described his life as an emotional roller coaster. I said, "Shit, that sounds exciting." Mine's more like driving down the I-5 on Valiant. Just a few ups and downs, and you don't remember the journey. But being emotionally repressed is actually useful for me as a doctor because sometimes it calls for it. Back when I used to work in an ER, this guy comes in, he's lost his hand in a blender, the fucker is freaking out. Huh? Perfectly understandable, right? And me, all I can think was, damn, that's a good blender. All right, it's Dr. Ruben Raja on Instagram. drrubenraja.com. Thank you so much. I did it for Ruben.